So there's the difference
If you
between
go back
us.
to my original question, if there is no personal mind to this, and then it is a blind unfeeling force, then there is zero reason to ask people to be kind, educate themselves,
Zero
develop
reason.
themselves.
Let's focus on that.
Okay.
Um, you said zero reason to be kind. Are you ever kind to people? Of course you are.
Oh yeah,
So am I. What's the reason why you're kind to people?
because the Bible tells Christians how to live, and kindness is kind of a core thing in there.
Okay, if the Bible didn't exist, you would not be kind to people?
Well, we're also created in the image of God, and He's impressed pieces of His character upon us. So even in our fallen state, we're going to have vestiges of that left over. But the reasoning why it's happening for a Christian is biblical. For an atheist, to quote Mr. Dawkins, there is no right or wrong. There's just blind, pitiless indifference, and there is no reason.
But you said that you are kind to people. Basically, can I summarize it as saying because God said so?
Oh yeah, that's a great way to sum it up.
What would be the second best reason to be kind to people other than God said so?
Well, because God said so, and because He's also, there are, even though man is fallen and his sin nature, there are still pieces of God's character that show through because I'm made in His image, and kindness.
Well, no, God, that's still the first same reason. I'm saying
No,
exclude God. Is there any reason to be kind to people if we don't look at God? Don't use God in your answer.
No.
No.
Not a good one.
Well, hang on. There's a difference between no reason and not a good reason. You can have reasons that are bad.
Okay, sure. If I had a selfish reason to be kind because it's going to help me get a promotion at a company and earn more money, I don't know if we would call that kindness overall because it's still self-serving, but I guess we need to define kindness better. But in the narrow definition of actual kindness for the sake of doing good for others with no help to yourself, then no, there's no reason outside of God.
So let's say an atheist sees someone who's starving to death and gives them food.
Okay. Why would he do that?
Well, I'm saying if the person does that and it saves their life and they want to be saved, isn't that a good reason?
You're the atheist. You tell me why an atheist would be
Yes,
kind.
my answer is yes. That's a good reason.
Why?
Because the person wanted to have food. It made me feel good to save their life, and they feel good that they can eat.
But just doing something to feel good, that doesn't make it kind.
Okay. What makes something kind?
I told you, doing something for someone else with no self-benefit.
Okay. Let's say the atheist feels bad about doing it, but still does it because he wants that person to live. Is it now kind?
We need to know, why would someone do something they feel bad about doing?
Because they feel like, well, maybe I'll take the word feel out. Just because they feel, well, they're programmed to do it. How about that?
But now we're discussing the Matrix.
No.
They're programmed?
Yeah.
Where did that programming come from? Because I'm going to say it's
from the cosmos, from evolution. They see a fellow species hungry.
Nope. That's not evolution, buddy. Come on, you know this. Survival of the fittest. We step on people's heads to get ahead. Make sure that we're not.
Now this topic's going to get into evolution, which I don't want to get into.
Well, it's a poor explanation for kindness to say that it comes from evolution.
So Joe, if you became an atheist, you wouldn't treat people unkindly all of a sudden, would you?
Well, I would have to figure out why in the world I'd be kind, and we don't seem to have a good reason to be kind as an atheist yet. And that's why I'm asking, why would you tell people to be kind or encourage kindness or be kind?
What if the answer is they just like it, like being kind?
Well, they're still doing it for self-benefit now.
Okay, what's wrong with the self-benefit?
Nothing, but it's not kindness.
Nothing's wrong with it?
Well, self-benefit in and of itself isn't always wrong, but it doesn't make it
okay,
kind.
So let's get rid of the word kind. Okay. I am not kind when I give a starving person food. I do it because I want the person to have food and it makes me feel good. But it's not kind. Who cares?
It's making you feel good. It's still self-serving, dude.
Okay, yeah, it's self-serving. What's wrong with that?
It's not wrong, but there's no reason for it outside of self-service. And
I'm
saying
the reason is self-service. What's wrong with that? Nothing. You said
that's far more consistent though than just telling kids to be kind. At that point, we don't tell them to be kind. We tell them to do what makes them feel good.
Let's teach kids to be self-serving and by feeding the hungry.
Okay, but we both know where self-serving goes because Hitler was pretty self-serving. If everyone is self-serving, how does that world end? How does the world end when everyone's self-serving? I mean, the only thing that restrains society from completely eating itself is governments, laws, and police. If we were all self-serving with no limits, it'd be a disaster really fast.
Do you want to go to heaven?
Do I want to go to heaven?
Yeah. This is a trap question.
Yes. I'm sure it is, but you know what? You've indulged me, I'll indulge you. Yes.
Isn't that self-serving of you?
Self-serving of me?
Yeah.
Not if I was created for it.
But you chose.
You didn't ask why I want to go to heaven. You asked, do I want to go to heaven?
Okay. Why do you want to go to heaven?
Because I'd like to be with God.
You like it.
I'm created for it.
You're created. Well, you notice your answers sound very similar to mine when I mentioned the programming and liking feeding the homeless.
Mm-hmm. And you have to borrow from our.
You're not really being kind, Joe. You just want to go to heaven because you like it and you want to be with Jesus and you don't want to burn. You're self-serving, Joe.
I was created for that.
And some people are created to help the poor.